Makatwiran na ho ba yung salita? Makatwiran, may kasama pala, kaya may kausap. At ang kausap yung karunungan. At ang karunungan, yun ang Kristo. At nag-uusap sila tungkol sa paglalang nila sa tao. Lalangin natin ang tao, sabi niya. O ngayon, talaga bang may patutuo tayo sa Biblia na ang kausap ng Diyos si Kristo nung magpasimulang lalalang sila ng tao? Pakinggan nyo kung sino yung kausap ng Diyos na kanyang kalarawan at kawangis. Sa Kolosas 1:15, si Kristo ang larawan ng Diyos na di nakikita. Ano pa ang pruweba? Pakinggan nyo sa Hebreo. Sa 1:2-3.
In the beginning is God, as there is one that exists in the beginning, for there is only one God. So SORIANO was wrong that Jesus was already with God in the beginning, as he did say Jesus was begotten by God, so Jesus is not the beginning. So is even SORIANO of saying that God begotten Jesus from his womb, that is already false. So God is talking to no one except himself, as through the soul of spirit that was also the soul of the mind, as this is the set as of Genesis 3:22. As this is the spirit and the mind, the composition of God, the God, for spirit cannot be living God if without mind, and the spirit through his soul give forth to the word as through the mind is whatever in the mind either be spoken or not his word, and this word was made to be flesh and or son, Psalms 2:7, John 1:1-3, and 14, 1 John 2:7, Hebrew 10:5, Surah 3:45, so that is why Jesus was called to be Wonderful Counselor, because he is the mind word. The God that made himself to become son through Mary's womb by making it in one, Hebrew 10:5, with the man Jesus of Deuteronomy 18:15. So specifically, the one who is with God is in the beginning is the Word, being cited in 1 John 1:20, the firstborn of God, which means the very first that was being brought forth, or produced by God. Yes. It is not a Christ yet, for it was so clear that Christ only start one was given birth by Mary, by God's will himself of making it in one with man Jesus through the womb of Mary. As the SORIANO said, Christ is the wisdom of God, 1 Corinthians 1:24, Jesus is the power and wisdom of God. It is because Christ the Word is the mind of God. So that is why Jesus is the Amen or the, but the minute of the Word, Jesus, declares will be so, and all authorities or ways is more with him. And that is why he is the Wonderful Counselor, the Spirit of Truth.
Ay nagsalita sa atin sa mga huling araw na ito sa pamamagitan ng kanyang anak na siyang itinalaga na tagapagmana ng lahat ng mga bagay na sa pamamagitan naman niya ay ginawa ang sanglibutan. Palibhasa'y siyang sinag ng kanyang kaluwalhatian at tunay na larawan ng kanyang pagkaDiyos.
Sino ang larawan ng Ama?
So if the SORIANO believes that Jesus Christ is the one who creates all, as the one who is with God in the beginning, then why SORIANO said the Christ and the Father or Creator are not in one God, as Jesus said there is only one God, one Father, and it is why Jesus said I am the same one Father, the Father and me are one. SORIANO must know that the man is the first to be created in the image of God, not specifically by Jesus Christ. But absolutely it is Jesus Christ who was procreated as in the image of God, except the flesh and the size, for God is spirit and with unfathomable size, as was clearly stated, the one of these the God, the Word became flesh also, as the one of the reasons also that even God will begot 1,000,000 sons it can never becomes God. For Jesus is not God, because he is the Son of God. Notice to say the Son of God, it is specifically refers to Christ and the man Jesus alone, but if it is to say a Son of God, it is referring to any one of the men, as it includes Jesus. As the man Jesus is procreation also. The Hebrews 1:2, this is what the man Jesus had said, the Father or Creator is in me, the one who do the things or spoke for Jesus, John 14:10. It is because the Word the one of these was made in one with the man Jesus, Hebrews 10:5. And the one who is cited here as the heir of all things is the man Jesus, not the Christ, for all are Christs. So with this Hebrews 1:2-3 that SORIANO had read, why he doesn't believe that Jesus Christ and the Father are in one God. Because SORIANO doesn't really absolutely knows what he is preaching.
Natural naman yung miski sa natural mo gadaanin. Ang unang-unang kamukha ng ama, anak, yun ang possibility, di ba?
The first image of God is his son Adam, not the man Jesus, although specifically the Christ is not the first image of God, but as concerning Psalms 2, verse 7, referring to the Christ as the Word, the mind, the one of thee is not just the perfect image of God, but he is the God himself.